In today's episode of Connecting Cultures, how did Turkmen director Mekan Zhumabaev learn the Kazakh language? I realized that in order to understand and learn something here, I need to start with the language. What is the peculiarity of the Turkmen carpet, which is considered the soul of the people? In Turkmen carpet, qalı and halı is love. What is the significance of the People's Assembly of Kazakhstan? We would never have even met Kurds and Germans who live in our country had it not been for the assembly. In 1897, according to the results of the all-Russian population census, more than 2,000 representatives of the Turkmen nationality lived on the Kazakh land. According to today's data, their number is close to 3,000. Most of the Turkmen live in the Mangistau, Karagandy, Kostanay, Almaty regions, and in the cities of Almaty and Nur-Sultan. Among them are doctors, musicologists, entrepreneurs, artists, teachers, engineers, and theater directors who work for the good of the country. The hero of today's program is theater director Mekan Zhumabaev. I am Mekan Zhumabaev, a representative of Turkmen people.
2018 жылда әуезов театрында Асхат Маемиров дядя Ваня деген Антон.
In 2018, Asхат Maemirov staged the play Uncle Vanya by Anton Chekhov at the Әуезов Theater.
Алғашқы сол келуімнің мақсаты да сол болды.
I was his assistant. It was my first job here, and that's why I came. Such famous actors of Kazakhstan as Azamat Satbaldy, Erkebul Dairov, Berik Aytjanov worked there. From the older generation of actors, there were Tolibek Aralbay, Gaziza Abdinabiyeva, Gulshat Tutova, and Saltanat Bakayeva. In general, I worked with eminent Kazakhstani actors. Of course, the experience cannot be described in words. This was my first job in Kazakhstan, and it was at the highest level. After staging the performance at the National Drama Theater named after Mukhtar Awezov, Mikan went to the capital, the city of Nur-Sultan, to pursue his dream. A young director who dreamed of getting to know Kazakhstani theatrical art and achieving creative success, today works in the capital's musical theater for young spectators.
I
graduated from my master's degree this year. Now I work as an assistant director at the musical theater for young spectators in Nur-Sultan.
Музыкалық жасөспірімдер театрында ассистент режиссері.
Upon arrival in Kazakhstan, the first thing I realized was that in order to understand and learn something here, I need to start with the language. After all, we have the same roots. Our languages are very similar. For about a week, I didn't understand Kazakh language at all. But after a month, I began to understand it by ear. And after 3 months, I mastered the language at such a level that I could speak and express my thoughts in Kazakh fluently. It is delightful when a person of different nationality speaks our native language. He even sometimes explains something to us in Kazakh. For example, he can clarify the meaning of the text of the play. People's mindset and worldview here is very similar to ours. Therefore, I don't feel that I'm surrounded by strangers. It feels like I live in my country among my brothers. They understand me perfectly, and they believe that mutual respect is the main thing. It's just like we do.
Біздегідей, бірдей.
Оның тәжірибесі көп.
Mikan is very experienced. He studied in Moscow and now he shares his experience with us. He talks and explains things to us. Sometimes he even goes on stage to convey something. He knows how to set a task. He wants to show the true qualities that are in every actor. In general, he knows how to work with actors.
Көрсетіп, актермен жақсы жұмыс істей алады деп айта аламын.
Kazakhs and Turkmens have a lot in common. That's why Mikan feels at home here. He really likes Kazakh traditions. And he considers the Kazakh system of a clear pedigree on the paternal side, the concept of жеті ата, a special phenomena. Peaceful coexistence of representatives of each ethnic group in a multinational country is an achievement of independent Kazakhstan, says the director.
Алматыда жүрген кезде мен достық ойы, дом дружбы.
When I worked in Almaty, I got acquainted with the work of an organization called the House of Friendship. For the first time, of course, I was very surprised at the existence of such a community. I was surprised that in a multinational state, equal opportunities for representatives of other nationalities, the same as for Kazakhs, are created. They are all equal. Of course, I think representatives of other nationalities should pay attention to this, show respect for both the country and the people, master the state language, and these friendships will never deteriorate.
Сыйластық көрсету керек қазақ еліне де халқына да деп ойлаймын. Сол кезде достық қатынас ешқашан өшпейді.
Бір адымнан істейсің. Түсіндің бе? Жүгірме. Көтер.
Ассаламу алейкум. Хош келдіңіз, келіңіз. Здравствуйте, нам очень приятно.
Hello, we are very pleased to welcome you to the office of the Turkmen Social and Cultural Center of the city of Almaty. Let me introduce you to our activists. Here in front of me is Rustam Agha. Next to Rustam Agha is Jibek, the head of our music center, the ensemble. He is a performer of songs in Kazakh and in Turkmen. And I would like to introduce you to Karagash. She teaches Kazakh language here. Let me also introduce you to Bakhtagul Kurbanovna. She is a famous scientist, teacher, daughter of our famous academician Kurban Nepesovich. In 1995, when the People's Assembly of Kazakhstan was created, representatives of all ethnic groups opened public cultural centers in the country. At the same time, a Turkmen center was opened in Almaty with the help of 11 people. In 1995, we, 11 activists, in accordance with the law, created our Turkmen Social and Cultural Center. In Turkmenistan, accordingly, the Kazakhs really wanted to create a Kazakh center too, but there is not even such a law on public associations as we have here in Kazakhstan. But the fact that we concluded an agreement with the Kazakhs in Turkmenistan gave them legitimacy. Imagine, such a force our assembly possesses. It even has an effect outside the borders of Kazakhstan. The Assembly of the People of Kazakhstan is an institution that has no analogues in the world. Founded in 1995, on the initiative of Elbасы Nur-Sultan it has become an international instrument for strengthening intercultural dialogue and solving problems of interethnic development. Throughout its 26-year history, the Assembly has been actively developing. During this time, the Kazakh model of interethnic tolerance and social harmony has been formed.
Мы никогда бы даже не познакомились с нашими курдами, с нашими немцами.
We would never have even met Kurds and Germans who live in our country had it not been for the Assembly. The fact that Elbасы Nur-Sultan created such an organization was such a brilliant foresight, because there is nothing more valuable than national politics, and we are very pleased. Here, my day begins as in Smolny. In the morning they call either from the presidential administration or from the mayor's office and say a collection of musical works will be published, melodies in the Turkmen language, or a book will be published, or there will be some kind of event. It's wonderful that the state cares that people of different nationalities, citizens of the Republic of Kazakhstan, can express their feelings. Indeed, thanks to the work of the assembly, the necessary conditions have been created for the development of culture, language, and traditions of all ethnic groups in Kazakhstan. Today, there are more than 800 ethnocultural associations. About 30 of them function at the Republican level. About 90 schools have been opened, where teaching is conducted entirely in Uzbek, Tajik, Uyghur, and Ukrainian languages. In more than 100 schools, languages of 22 ethnic groups are studied as part of the curriculum.
Наша ассамблея, наша работа, она зиждется на том, что создали предки.
Our assembly, our work, is based on what our ancestors created, when they communicated, when they helped each other, especially the repressed peoples. And this is a high manifestation of Kazakh traditions and customs, when they defended the unjustly persecuted, unjustly humiliated, hungry. They welcomed them under their shanurak, gave them a roof over their heads. They shared food with them. And that's why there is such a reciprocal gratitude from everyone. Already the third, fourth generation is coming from this repressed peoples. All this, of course, cements the nation as one.
И все это, конечно, цементирует нацию как единую.
The People's Assembly of Kazakhstan also creates conditions for the younger generation to grow up knowledgeable and versatile. In order for representatives of each ethnic group to master the state language along with their native language, more than 200 ethnic educational centers, Sunday and linguistic schools have been opened. In addition, opportunities are being created for the education of young people abroad.
В ассамблее огромное внимание уделяется молодежи.
In the Assembly, great attention is paid to young people because we have to pass on all this to them. The last session had a distinctive feature that all the speakers were very young people. And we veterans could only be proud of them, rejoice to the fact that indeed we had someone we can pass our knowledge to. We, of course, study both languages, the state language, Kazakh language, and we also don't forget about our native language, Turkmen language. And the state supports us in this.
Государство поддерживает.
Мен осы Turkmen этномәдени орталығының мүшесімін.
I'm a member of the Turkmen Ethnocultural Center. Here we study the Kazakh language, Kazakh traditions, and customs.
Түрлерін, әдептерін бәрін үйреніп жатырмыз.
We're making every effort so that representatives of other nationalities can communicate in the Kazakh language.
Басқа ұлттар тұрған соң осыған көп мән береміз.
Мәдени орталықтың жалпы жұмысы мына
In general, the task of the Cultural Center is to work to strengthen friendship between Kazakhs and Turkmens, and in general between all the peoples of Kazakhstan, to acquaint them with the culture of each other.
білуге сондай көп іс-шараларға араласып жұмысты атқаратын жағдайы бар.
The culture and traditions of the Kazakh and Turkmen peoples are very similar. Both peoples attach great importance to ornamentation. Each type of pattern on the Turkmen carpet, called the soul of the people, contains a special meaning and philosophy. Interestingly, in Turkmenistan, each family has its own carpet. The Turkmen have long made such carpets and sold them to other peoples. Thick, high-quality Turkmen carpets are usually made by women.
Ну, прежде всего, хотелось бы обратить ваше внимание на те ковры.
First of all, I would like to draw your attention to the rugs that are laid out here. And in Turkmen carpet, qal'ı, and qal'ı is love. Hence, it's clear that the carpet is the soul of the people, and when women weave these carpets, they express their entire soul.
Душу. Орнамент туркменских ковров, он
The ornament of Turkmen carpets is geometric. For example, the famous Persian carpets where the ornament is floral, while the Turkmens have a geometric ones. These are not just figures, they reflect the structure of the universe, space. A huge philosophy is laid in there.
Вселенной, космоса. Здесь заложена огромная философия. Вот это платье, оно сшито.
This dress is made of Turkmen homespun silk. It's very narrow, handmade, called kitani.
Работа и называется кетани. Это ткань. Но Рустем Ага.
Rustam Agha wears a man's chapan. He's wearing telpek, a headdress.
Это головной убор.
Here is also Adilbek. He is in the Tekin chapan, also wears the tilpek. Karlagash has a very beautiful dress. This embroidery is done separately and then it is sewn onto the velvet dress. And Turkmen women love such headscarves very much. They always give them to each other, especially at weddings.
На свадьбах.
Jewelry occupies a special place in Turkmen culture. Products of women and children are made of silver and show ethnic characteristics. In addition, the Turkmens believe that jewelry protected from troubles and the influence of black magic. Therefore, they were worn as a talisman. Turkmen jewelry is usually large and decorated with various patterns, and girls traditionally wear a silver jewelry called gupa under a headdress. In the 30s of the last century, the Kazakh people who suffered from hunger were forced to seek shelter in foreign countries. Then many Kazakhs moved to Turkey, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan. After gaining independence, the homeland called compatriots from other countries back home. Nurmakhan Boranbayev and Bibi Zhidibayeva are among those who once returned to their historical homeland from Turkmenistan. Today they live and work in Kazakhstan. Their family now equally honors the traditions of both countries and combines Turkmen cuisine with Kazakh.
Мен бүгін сіздерге
Today I will cook you a Turkmen pilaf. For this we need meat, carrots, onions, and rice. We cook mainly in vegetable oil, more often in sesame oil. There is such a peculiarity with meat. The Turkmen do not eat horse meat, they honor the horse. It is considered a national treasure. Therefore, they mainly eat beef and lamb. Now we need to slice the carrots. The carrots are ready. Now we cut the onions. Now we need to heat the oil well in order to fry the meat. Well, the oil is heated, we can fry the meat. While cooking, I add a little sugar for flavor. I don't put onions after the meat. I did it right after the carrots. When we put the carrots and onions in the cauldron, we cover it with a lid. Allow everything to stew. There are no special differences in cuisine and types of dishes between the Turkic peoples. It's just that each nation adds plants and seasonings of the region in which it lives to its food. But of course, every housewife in the world cooks it in her own way. For example, Uzbeks or other peoples add many different spices to pilaf, and I don't use them at all. After gaining independence, Kazakhstan has become a place that brings together many peoples with common roots. Over the years, Kazakhstanis have shown the whole world an example of unity, peace, and hospitality. The strength of the people of Kazakhstan lies precisely in their unity. And where there is unity, there is prosperity.
Дорогие зрители, поздравляю вас сердечно.
Dear viewers, I congratulate you on the 30th anniversary of Kazakhstan's independence from the bottom of my heart. This is a very special date. 30 years, we can already sum up visible results. And we see these results. Therefore, Kazakhstan can go only forward. Godspeed. Blossom, Kazakhstan. You are on the right path.
Он на правильном пути. Мейрам кутактайна.
I sincerely congratulate Kazakhstanis on the 30th anniversary of independence. May the sky be peaceful, our people safe, and our friendship eternal.
Мәңгі болсын.